Hey guys, my name is Brian Olivas, and today we're going to take you through a step-by-step process tutorial on how to do an epoxy floor.
This space isn't too large, so we are going to use an angle grinder with a diamond cut blade to grind over the surface of the concrete. We are also hooking this up to a dust shroud and vacuum so that we don't get too much excess dust all over the place. Before we get started, it is always important to wear the proper protective gear, that being knee pads, earplugs, and a mask to manage dust intake. As we do this step, we want to make sure to go over the entire floor. This will grind away the smooth top layer of the concrete and allow the resin to adhere more efficiently. Once you are finished and your floor is all grinded up, the next step is to vacuum and clean the floor thoroughly. The cleaner your floor, the better your epoxy will stick and you will have less issues with dust and dirt floating in your resin. Now that everything is all cleaned up, we can begin to mix up our primer and get it ready to pour. Here we are using an epoxy primer from the Epoxy Resin store. It helps to use a primer to ensure that your floor gets sealed properly and you don't get vapor or moisture leaks coming from underneath your floor. This stuff has a super low viscosity, so I like to use a squeegee to spread it across the floor. And then a roller to edges of the floor. As we do this process, we want to be incredibly thorough and make sure we are properly sealing the entire floor. Once you've finished, you can let the epoxy cure for 24 hours. We will go ahead and tape the base of our walls before applying our next layer. This will help make sure we do not get resin on the walls while rolling. After this, we can go ahead and get started on mixing. Here we will be using Polyaspartic resin from the Epoxy Resin store. This stuff is great because it offers a long work time, has a low viscosity for easy application, and it cures hard and rigid as a rock. For this first layer of Polyaspartic, we will spread it similarly to how we applied the primer on the first day, using both a squeegee and a roller. Once you are finished, leave it for 24 hours to cure fully. Before adding our final layer, we will need to sand and scuff up this bottom layer first. Again, this helps the next layer to obtain a stronger mechanical bond. After we've finished that, we will run over it with some Windex and a duster to clean the floor up real quick. Now we are ready for and can begin to mix up the Polyaspartic for our final layer. The customer requested a marble design, so we will need to wear our spiked shoes in order to do this. This will allow us to walk over the resin to add our designs without leaving a big footprint and making a mess. To add the marbling effect, we will just add some extra drops of pigmented resin throughout the floor and sort of roll them into the floor. Repeat this process until you've finished and then allow the floor to cure for 24 hours. After your floor has cured, you can now remove the tape and show it to your customer.